Welcome back to another episode on Anxiety Doesn't Own Me podcast. My name is Emmanuel Isaacson. I'm an anxiety coach who has struggled with anxiety disorder for over 3 years and now have been anxiety free for over 9 years and now help other people that are struggling with anxiety to overcome theirs in a natural way. Today, what I'm going to be talking about is how our needs are very, very important. And if they're not being met, can affect us in the long term and can also affect us while we're having anxiety. And if we're able to meet those needs, that will help us to calm down our anxiety. Now, some of these needs that we have are mentally, emotionally, physically, and also spiritually. These are needs that aren't being met. Like when people ask me, like, Emmanuel, how did you overcome and heal your anxiety? And I tell them what I did is that I developed my mindset. See, that's a need that I need to develop my mindset. I have to develop my mindset in a certain way, right? And I wasn't having it before because I had a very negative mindset. And that wasn't really helping me out. And that was making me sad and angry and frustrated. But now I had to change my mindset to more of a positive one and to more of a different kind of like look in how I see certain situations, give people the benefit of the doubt and develop my mindset and how to see things differently so that way I can feel much calmer. So that when I tell people that, I'm like, see, like I did that. But besides only the mindset, also our emotions. If our emotions aren't being met, they have an effect. Think about it this way. If you're looking for support, emotional support, and you're not receiving that, how do you feel? You feel a little stressed out. You feel alone. You feel like, wait, why is nobody really caring about like how I feel or what I'm experiencing? And a lot of people with anxiety, whenever we experience anxiety, we're always trying to explain it to somebody else. And whenever we try to explain it, like they don't understand what we're going through. And what do they tell us? Oh, what's the big deal? Just calm down. Or what's the big deal? Think about something else. Like, what are you depressed about? Like, what are you anxious about? You are in a safe place. But that's not really understanding us. When somebody understands our struggle, what we're going through, it helps us to calm down because we don't feel alone. And there's also a lot of different emotional things that if our emotions are not being met, it can affect us. Like love, for example, whenever we're kids or even when we're adults in a relationship. If our needs aren't being met, it affects us. It definitely does. It'll affect the relationship and you'll be in a more, let's say if there's no love in the relationship, it can affect the relationship with one another. And that can be with a significant other. It can be with your kids. It's going to affect your kids, if they don't receive the love, and I know a lot of us didn't receive love when we were kids, affected us when we grew up. That's why we need to heal ourselves in that sense. That's why we need to bring back that love that the kid that's within us that wants that love, that needs it, and hasn't received it. But that affected us. So we also need to meet our emotional needs as well. We have to meet our emotional needs. Like, for example, whenever I was a kid, when we were growing up, my entire family, we didn't hear a lot of good things about ourselves. And again, I don't blame my parents for that because they never received that from their parents because of where they grew up. They just know that. That's the way they operate. Of course, thankfully that I have broken that, generational cycle, and I do show my kids love and I do show them that there is good things about them and I don't label them when they're doing something wrong as a bad kid. Like I won't do that with my daughter. I never do that. When she's doing something bad, I never say you're a bad kid for doing it. I said, what you're doing is wrong, but you're still a good kid. You see, there's an acceptance over there. I don't approve of the action, but I accept her no matter what. That's the thing over here. I accept my daughter no matter what, but I don't approve of the action. So I let her know, but I don't label her as a bad girl because then she thinks like, oh, I'm a bad girl then. I'm not a good person. So whenever we're growing up and we're hearing those kind of things, that affects us. And that's a need that's not being met. If love isn't being met, we have to know how to give ourselves some love. I know I tell a lot of people to go to the mirror, in front of the mirror, and tell yourselves, hey, I love you. I love you. I love you. Tell that over and over again. It does help. It does help, but we need to meet our emotional needs. We need to heal our past events that affect us emotionally. We have to heal those things. And I know I do this with a lot of people. I do the child within, which is not an easy thing to do because, again, you're bringing up certain wounds. But what happens is that you're healing yourself. That's what it is. So whenever you're healing yourself emotionally, your emotions are being met. You feel calmer. You feel much better. So you see, mentally, we need to meet our mental needs and our emotional needs. We are also human beings. We are also spiritual beings. We need that spirituality. Now, again, for each person, it's going to be different. Like for me, I connect with God. I believe in God. Like that's my thing. I always talk to God. Every single morning, I talk to God. That's the first thing that I do. I have to take care of my daughter. I feed her. I sit down for about 30 minutes every single day praying and talking to God. Because that's what helps me to calm down. That's what helps me to give me some clarity. Because whenever we have anxiety, we don't have clarity. And even whenever I was going through anxiety, whenever I was experiencing an anxiety disorder, I was so lost. I remember speaking to God. I said, listen, you put me in this situation. Find me somebody or whatever it is. Give me some sort of direction, some clarity of what I'm going through and get me out of this situation. I would speak to him about it all the time. So for me, that's what helps me. Connecting with him that way helps me. There's other things that I do as well that helps me to elevate myself spiritually because I need that. I need that because that's what helps me to calm down and gives me that faith. You know, when we have anxiety, when we think about the future, we see everything bleak. We're thinking everything in a very negative way. We're nervous about it. You know, something bad is going to happen. We don't have that faith. I remember Les Brown said this. He said, it's not if you see, then you will believe, but if you believe, then you will see. That was like, whoa. That blew my mind. I was like, that is so true. Because whenever we believe, we can actually see it. So we need to change that and have more faith. Because whenever we have more faith, that helps us to change from a negative mindset to more of a positive and hopeful one. That also helps us as well. Again, you can connect however you want. Again, this is me personally. What helps me is that I connect with God and talk with him. And as well, I have faith for the future of how good things are going to work out. Or other things that I do to elevate my spirituality because I need that. Without it, I start tanking. It's just something that helps me out. And I realize that. Another thing that is with human beings, which is the most common and the most, we can just see that, is the physicality, our physical body. And what I mean by that, meeting the needs of the physical body is that exercising. It needs to exercise. It needs to move. Eating healthier will help us to give us more energy. When we don't eat healthy, what happens? We feel the difference. Our body feels the difference. If it's not getting the nutrients that it needs, it feels the difference. We need to provide that. Sleep, for example. We need sleep. If we don't have sleep, what happens is that the next morning when we wake up, right, we feel like crap. We don't feel good. Our anxiety increases, right? We have brain fog. We're just like not in the same place because, again, our body needs to sleep. And we need to do certain things that can help us to go to sleep. You can take the Calmly CBD. Helps to go to sleep. It helps to calm down the anxiety. It has nutrients in there like antioxidants, which is good for the heart, which is also good for other things. It also has anti-inflammatory properties to help you to reduce inflammation in the body. So we need to meet those needs in order for us to feel much better and also to avoid foods that aren't healthy. We need to avoid it. But I'm not saying, again, to completely cut it off. I'm not saying that. We need to lower it by 90%. We need to change our diet for a while in order for us to feel much better. Now, let's say, for example, people tell me I drink caffeine. Completely cut that out. Don't even have any caffeine. Like sugar, I know that's hard because sometimes sugar helps us to calm down. So you can have a little bit. Or try to something healthier in the sense of sugar. Or eat fruits that have sugar in it, but it's healthier. So these kind of things that can help us. So we need to provide needs for these four things, the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical, in order for us to feel much better. And that's what I did. That's what I did that helped me to overcome and have more of a solid foundation, so that way I'm able to feel much better. Like, I developed my mindset. To cut out certain people, like negativity. You see, so there's a lot of negativity out there on social media. There is a lot of negativity of how the world is going. I'm telling you, if you take a break from social media and the news, you're like, the world seems pretty fine. Yeah, I know that it seems like it's crazy and there's a lot of things going on that has never been before. But like, if you look at it in your own life, you're like, okay, it's not as bad as I see it on the screen. That's the thing. It amplifies it. So we need to like protect ourselves from those things and start thinking and looking at things in a more positive way, and start looking at more positive things that'll help us to feel much better. In the meantime, so that we can develop ourselves, so that we could see the negativity, because then the negativity is out there in the world. But right now we need to feed the positivity. We fed it enough. We fed the negativity enough. We need to start feeding the positivity in the meantime. But if we meet these four things, if we provide these four things, you will see we'll feel much better. You'll feel much, much better and much lighter, and you'll have more energy, and you'll feel your anxiety completely going away. If you are looking for a natural remedy in order to help you to deal with your anxiety and help you on your journey to overcome it, I created Calmly CBD, where it specifically helps you to calm down your anxiety and panic attacks. And as well, it doesn't make you feel drowsy. It doesn't make you feel sleepy. And it helps you to just feel calm, so you can actually do things throughout the day, like work, drive, go out, and do whatever you like in a more calmer state of mind. As well as not addictive or has any side effects or any withdrawals, which this way can actually help you to heal your anxiety and get you to the destination in overcoming your anxiety much quicker. You can click the link that's in the description. It would say Calmly CBD to place your order today. And then right now it's on sale for a limited time, where you can buy one and get the second one free. If you did like this episode, please click the like button and leave a 5-star review. The reason why I ask is because this way we're able to reach more people, and the more people that we can actually reach, the more people that we can actually help. Because my mission in this world, my purpose, is to help people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally and show them that it's possible to overcome. Thank you guys, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.